The Unwritten Pitch, 50 Secrets FIFA Never Told You. As read by Lily. Lily loved discoveries. Not the kind you find under a microscope, but the kind buried under noise, beneath chance and gold trophies. She kept a notebook where facts slept like fossils, waiting for someone curious enough to brush the dirt away. One evening, with rain tapping the window like a nervous midfielder, she opened it to a blank page and began to read aloud to no one in particular. 1. The game was once banned for breaking windows. In medieval England, football wasn't a sport. It was a riot with a ball. Entire villages would kick a pig's bladder from one end of town to the other. The goals were landmarks miles apart. King Edward II banned it in 1314 because it caused great noise in the city and shattered shop windows. Merchants hated it. Soldiers loved it. Lily smiled. Even then, football refused to be quiet. 2. The first World Cup had no qualifiers. 1930, Uruguay. 13 teams sailed, flew, or trained across oceans just to show up. There were no qualifiers because FIFA couldn't afford to turn anyone away. Egypt missed their ship. So the tournament started with an odd number. Imagine that today, no VAR, no group stage drama, just you came, you play. 3. A ball once decided a war's timeout. Christmas, 1914. World War I. British and German soldiers climbed out of trenches in no man's land and played football with a tin can. For a few hours, the war had a half-time. The next day, orders came to resume fire. The ball didn't stop bullets, but it proved something Lily underlined twice: even in hell, humans look for a game. 4. The trophy was hidden in a showbox. The Jules Rimet Trophy was stolen in 1966, for months before the World Cup in England. A dog named Pickles found it wrapped in newspaper under a garden hedge. During World War II, an Italian official hid it in a showbox under his bed so Nazis wouldn't melt it for war. A trophy with more near-death experiences than most strikers. 5. Orange peels changed football forever. Before energy drinks, half-time meant orange slices. In the 1950s, teams realized citrus prevented cramps. The sugar, the potassium, the ritual. It became so standard that orange peel is slang for half-time in parts of South America. Lily noted, sometimes science wears a peel. 6. The loudest stadium isn't the biggest. Measured in decibels, the loudest recorded roar wasn't at Maracana or Wembley. It was at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City during an American football game, 142.2 dB. But in 2018, Beşiktaş fans in Istanbul hit 132 dB during a football match. That's louder than a jet engine. Sound, Lily wrote, is a 12th player. 7. A goalkeeper scored 131 goals. Rogério Ceni, Brazilian keeper for São Paulo, scored 131 career goals. Free kicks, penalties. He outscored many strikers. Goalkeepers aren't supposed to leave their line. He deleted that rule and rewrote his job description. 8. The World Cup was skipped because of money, not war. 1942 and 1946. Everyone assumes World War II cancelled them. True, but FIFA also had no money, no host, and most nations were rubble. It wasn't just bombs. It was bankruptcy. The world had no bandwidth for a game. 9. A country played barefoot and won. 1948 Olympics. India played against France with 8 players barefoot. Some bandaged, some raw. FIFA later banned barefoot play, citing injury risk. India qualified for the 1950 World Cup but withdrew. Why? They weren't allowed to play barefoot. Culture versus rules. Rules 1. 10. The ball used to be laced like a shoe. Before 1960s, footballs had leather laces. Headers would split your forehead. Goalkeepers wore caps not for sun, but to avoid stitches. The modern valve was a mercy. 11. Referees used to have no whistles. They waved handkerchiefs until 1878, when a policeman's whistle was used at a game in Nottingham. The sound cut through noise. Authority, Lily realized, often comes down to acoustics. 12. A game once lasted 3 seconds after kickoff. 2002, in Barbados vs Grenada, a bizarre tournament rule meant scoring an own goal would help Barbados advance. So a Barbadian defender deliberately scored on his own net at 87 foot. Then both teams spent the last 3 minutes defending each other's goals to prevent scoring. Football's laws of physics broke that day. 13. The fastest red card, 0 seconds. Lee Todd, 2000. He said, an immoral word that was loud after the referee blew the starting whistle. The ref heard it, thought it was dissent, and sent him off before the ball moved. The game started 10 vs 11. 14. A team qualified without playing a game. 1934 World Cup. Because other teams withdrew, Israel, then mandatory Palestine, qualified without a match. They lost 7-1 to Egypt later. But for one moment, they were in by default. 15. The word soccer is British. Oxford students in the 1880s shortened the association football to associates, then soccer. Britain exported the word to America, then decided to hate it. Lily laughed. Language is offside sometimes. 16. Heat can make a ball curve more. Physics, a hotter ball has lower air pressure, which increases the Magnus effect. That's why free kicks in Qatar 2022 curved differently than in Russia 2018. Altitude, temperature, and humidity are invisible players. 17. The World Cup was almost held every 2 years. FIFA proposed it in 2021. Arsene Wenger backed it. UEFA threatened boycott. Tradition held. Lily wrote, frequency changes meaning. A comet isn't special if it comes every Tuesday. 18. A match was played with 3 halves. 1996, in Norway, a referee forgot to stop for halftime and played 45 extra minutes. Then realized, played a third half of 45. The score? Nobody remembers. The chaos? Everyone does. 19. Grass isn't always grass. 2002 World Cup. Some pitches in Korea, Japan were 30% synthetic. Today, hybrid grass, real root stitched with plastic, is standard. Pure nature couldn't survive 90 minutes under 22 athletes. 20. The trophy weighs more than a toddler. Current World Cup trophy, 6.175 kilograms of 18-karat gold. Winners don't keep it. They get a bronze replica. The real one stays with FIFA. Lily noted, even victory is borrowed. 21. A dog predicted results better than analysts. Paul the Octopus, 2010. Picked 12 of 14 correctly. Probability, 1 in 279,936. Economists were furious. Lily wasn't. Instinct, she wrote, doesn't need a degree. 22. The first live broadcast was radio, not TV. 1934, Italy versus Czechoslovakia. No images, just a man yelling into a mic. Listeners imagine the goals. Imagination, Lily thought, was the first VAR. 23. A country won while banned from competing. South Africa was banned from FIFA 1961 to 1992 due to apartheid. When they returned, they won the 1996 African Cup. Sometimes exile makes you hungrier. 24. The offside rule was once 3 players. Before 1925, you needed 3 opponents between you and the goal. It changed to 2, and scoring doubled overnight. 1 rule edit, thousands more goals. Legislation as a playmaker. 25. A player was killed for an own goal. Andrés Escobar, Colombia, 1994. He scored an own goal versus USA. 10 days later, he was shot in Medellin. Football, Lily whispered, can carry the weight of a nation's rage. 26. Women were banned from playing in England until 1971. The FA banned women's football in 1921, calling it unsuitable. It lasted 50 years. The 1920 Boxing Day match had 53,000 spectators. Then silence. Lily underlined, erasure is a stat too. 27. The first World Cup final had a ball controversy. 1930, Argentina and Uruguay couldn't agree on a ball. Solution, Argentina's ball first half, Uruguay's second. Uruguay came back from 2-1 down to win 4-2. Equipment is politics. 28. Altitude can disqualify a stadium. FIFA once banned games above 500 m, citing player health. Bolivia protested. The ban was lifted. La Paz sits at 640 m. The ball flies faster, lungs burn quicker. Geography has tactics. 29. A team wore the same kit for 50 years. Brazil's yellow shirt didn't exist until 1954. After the 1950 loss, they ditched white, held a contest. The winning design, yellow with green trim. Defeat redesigned identity. 30. The group of death is statistically real. Statisticians found that some World Cup groups have 40% higher average ELO ratings. 2002 Group F, Argentina, England, Sweden, Nigeria. All could win it. 3 went home early. 31. A referee was punched by a spectator and kept going. 1962 World Cup. Chile versus Italy, Battle of Santiago. Police intervened 3 times. A fan punched the ref. He didn't stop the match. Blood and football, same field. 32. The halftime show was invented for bathroom breaks. American football needed people to buy concessions. So they added marching bands. Football adopted it. Commerce, Lily noted, always finds a seat. 33. A goal was scored by wind. 1980s, England. A goalkeeper's punt got caught in a gale, blew back, and bounced into his own net. No touch from opponent. Ref allowed it. The wind had an assist. 34. The first red card wasn't until 1970. Cards were invented after 1966, when language barriers caused confusion. Ken Aston, a ref, thought of traffic lights, yellow equals caution, red equals stop. Design sold diplomacy. 35. A nation debuted and won the whole thing. Uruguay, 1930. Hosts and winners. Only once has a debutant won. The house advantage is real. 36. The Bulls panels tell politics. Telstar 1970, black and white for TV visibility. Adidas still designs balls with cultural nods. Brazuca 2014 had ribbons for Brazilian culture. The ball is a diplomat. 37. A player played without a boot. 1962, Garrincha lost his boot mid-game, kept dribbling, assisted a goal. The ref didn't stop play. If it's not dangerous, Lily wrote, it's just style. 38. The World Cup has its own ghost goals. 1966 final. England's third goal didn't fully cross the line. No VAR. Goal given. Germany still disputes it. Technology arrived 48 years late. 39. A team flew 18,000 miles to lose 8-0. Korea DPR, 1966. Their trip to England took days. They beat Italy, then lost 5-3 to Portugal after leading 3-0. Distance doesn't measure heart. 40. The trophy's base records every winner. But it ran out of space in 2014. FIFA had to redesign it. History needed more room. 41. A match had 36 red cards. 2007, Argentina. Referee Damian Rubino sent off all 22 players, plus 14 substitutes and coaches. A bench-clearing brawl. The record for most cards in one game. 42. Football boots were once steel-toed. Early 1900s. Tackles broke legs. The steel was removed for safety, but the reputation stayed. 43. The 12th man was measured. Studies show home teams win 60% more with fans. During COVID, empty stadiums erased that edge. Crowd noise isn't metaphor. It's data. 44. A player scored in every minute from 1 foot to 90. Cristiano Ronaldo. Over his career, he scored in each of the 90 minutes. Time, for some, is just a menu. 45. The World Cup was decided by coin toss. 1,968 euros, semi-final. Italy versus USSR ended 0-0. No penalties yet. Italy advanced by coin toss. Luck in a blazer. 46. A nation qualified with a population of 334,000. Iceland, 2018. Smaller than most cities. They drew with Argentina. Lily circled it, scale is not destiny. 47. The first substitute was in 1958. Before that, if you got injured, you played hurt or went 10 vs 11. Substitutes were a medical revolution. 48. A goalkeeper ran the length of the field to score. 2013, Asmir Begovic, 91.9 meters. The longest goal ever. He kicked it from his box, wind carried it, it bounced over the other keeper. 13 seconds after kickoff. 49. The final is watched by 1.5 billion people. More than any event except the moon landing. For 90 minutes, the planet synchronizes. Lily closed her eyes. That's louder than any stadium. 50. The game exists because someone broke a rule. In 1823, William Webb Ellis, at rugby school, picked up the ball and ran. That was illegal. That illegality became rugby. Football, in response, codified no hands. Every sport is a reaction to a rebellion. Lily closed the notebook. Outside, the rain had stopped. Somewhere, a ball was still rolling. Not because the rules said so, but because 50 forgotten truths said it must. And discovery, she decided, was just the halftime of history.